YouTube, what's going on? Horse Racing Gamer here. Welcome back to Gallop Racer 2004. Keep in mind I'm recording this pretty much in the same time period as the others, just a day later. So as far as any updated comments you guys leave on the videos, I'm still not going to see those until like I think this is going to be episode 160, or actually I have no idea. But regardless, I won't see any updated comments for a while, just letting you know, because I'm doing just a lot of mass recordings. So we have a lot going on this month, and I didn't really set a goal for this year. Again, I talked about it, I think, in the last video. We're going through a transitioning phase where I think we're finally going to start getting a lot of the real dominant horses that we've kind of been waiting for. Now, I've updated my spreadsheet to show all of my horses, my current 6, and what I've noticed after reorganizing my spreadsheets is that our broodmare Nightbreeze has actually given us our most consistent horses. And I think I may have mentioned that in the previous videos, but I didn't know for sure if it was just her. And it really is her. Like, I'm looking at all of our Gallop Racer originals, and the most consistent ones we've been able to keep and even use for breeding as far as the studs are concerned, they've all somehow come from Nightbreeze. So like I said, she didn't, I think, have a dominant racing career, but I think she was a very consistent grade 3 and even a grade 2 horse on certain occasions. And again, she was very consistent, and I do think that that characteristic has carried over to my horses that I've been able to do well with, because I don't think there's any coincidence in the world that all of the most consistent horses that I've been able to race on as far as our originals are concerned have essentially all come from Nightbreeze. That horse, she was very consistent, and we noticed that in her daughter Pink Gemstone, and then even her son Onyx Prince. Both of those horses that I race on and we will be racing on here today are extremely consistent. So yeah, it's a good thing to know. So this is a pretty big deal here. The Golden Derby, 12 furlongs on the turf, have us as 4th in the market. Now, to see what this real race counterpart is, from the Gallop Racer spreadsheet. So this is the Golden Derby. The Golden Derby represents the Tokyo Yushin, and it is a legitimate grade 1 event, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, obviously finishing higher than 4th would be great. They'll give us a top 5. King B, though, he looks ready to go, and gotta say, he's really been consistent for us. Again, now he comes from different parents, Desert Diver and Aunt B, but Desert Diver was extremely consistent. Aunt B was consistent for the most part, but there was a couple of races I think that kind of were a little weird with her. So nonetheless, the consistency, for whatever reason, it may not show up on these menus, but I firmly believe it does transfer from one horse to another. Like, if you are on a horse that wins a lot, even if it's not grade 1s, I do think that the game takes that into consideration. Because again, Nightbreeze wasn't like a grade 1 dominating horse. She mainly won grade 3s and grade 2s on occasion. So she was really a group 3, group 2 horse. And I think the game takes that into consideration, because those are still grouped races, graded races. They're not opens. I don't think winning 500 opens will really make a difference, but maybe it does. I mean, it hasn't really explained it, but maybe the game takes all sorts of wins, the amount of money you win from those races, maybe all of those things are actually taken into consideration. Because again, Nightbreeze, she didn't win any, grade 1s, and she's been able to give us horses that can win grade 1s. So again, I believe just her consistency and the fact that she was able to win grade 3s a lot and to win grade 2s, I think that did help, and that does help. So that's why, at least as far as how I'm playing this game, that is why I will sometimes enjoy those grade 3 and grade 2 horses, because I do think that you can still do some pretty cool and interesting breeding with those horses. I think it's a given that if you put a couple of grade 1 or group 1 champions together, you're probably going to get something special, right? That's always a given, but I like the idea that you can still take other horses that maybe aren't as good as them. You can still use them in interesting ways for breeding, and you can still come up with some pretty cool lines. And that's what I've really been enjoying about the game. Like I said, I know I can stack my best brood mares and studs together and just purely use them and just continue to stack and stack, but that's not the goal. Of course, we're going to get those horses, but there's other things we're doing because I want to create certain type of horses that I race best with. And that's the thing. I think that's the beauty of this game. We all play it differently, and we all can breed horses according to our playing style and what we want. So how I'm breeding the horses is what's going to work for me to achieve the ultimate success that I want to achieve in this game. Let's go. No Rebo. No Rebo. It's fine. It's fine. Let's see what King can do. Let's see what he can do. Close the gap, man. Close the gap. Close the gap. King B is pushing, man. He is a tough horse. Very tough. Don't have the speed there yet, but he's reeling in. It's going to be a solid 3rd place. Maybe even higher if these horses gas out. Nope. That's a strong, solid P3 finish for King B. I could have probably stayed in the original gap I was in. My spurt probably won't be rated great, but Power Runner, again, that's a fast horse. I'm pretty sure we ran against that horse before and we couldn't beat him. That's a fast, tough horse to run against. They gave us a Beyond spurt, so it could have been better. But, yeah, I think that's a tough field. King B is still kind of developing as well, so keep that in mind. We're switching gears to the filly, the 4-year-old filly Lee's Gold. She's up today in the Dolphin Stakes, Grade 2. She is the favorite, as she should be. And she's looking really good. She has 4 stats in the 70s as of now. Speed, staying, power, and heart. So I'm glad I acquired her. She's pretty much at her peak right now. I'm curious if she could run in Grade 1. I think her stats are decent enough where she could run against other fillies in a Grade 1. So that's going to be my next stop for her. Because she's going to be an awesome broodmare for us. She's going to be a solid upgrade. I know she's only A ranked. Oh no, she's actually S ranked. She is S ranked, so she could potentially be the next best broodmare besides Aunt B. I think she's definitely better than Night Breeze, statistically and her performance. I think so. Yeah, Lee's Gold. I think she'll start producing us some even better foals here. So the future is bright for what we have going on here in this playthrough for the HRG Ranch, HRG Stables. I think we have a lot of good things to look forward to in the future. Like I said, it's just kind of been that transition period where I've been having to slowly grind there because I'm trying to do things a certain way. We've had some hiccups in the road with losing a couple of horses, but ultimately it's just kind of been a waiting game. There's been a number of horses that we've had that have been late bloomers, late developers, which inherently I do like, depending on how good the horse could be in the future. So sometimes it's kind of waiting for those horses to come through and finally get to their peaks, so we can then use them for breeding as well. I'm building a line of when we're going to have dominant Grade 1 winners as far as like every horse that we're racing on. I used to have them. Obviously, they've all essentially been retired, or we've had to lose 1 or 2, or whatever the case has been. I mean, most of them are gone now, so that's why we're in that period now of building new ones. And again, predominantly from our originals. We're still using some fillies, of course, for mares, because we just haven't had many of our own fillies and mares to use, but that's about it. I mean, I'm not really acquiring too many like random studs. Crafty Gift is the newest one I got, and oh man, this space is looking bad. Come on, let her through. Let her through. Here we go. Come on, Lee. Come on, Lee. Move. Here we go. Show the speed. Show the speed. Show the speed, Lee. Show the speed, Lee. Get up at the wire. Get up there. Oh, man. That's... terrible positioning screwed us. That's annoying. She can go. Races like those suck, man. They suck. Just positioning totally not on our side. That's annoying. Such an easy win. Such an easy win for her. Such an easy win. We'll redeem ourselves. It's fine. Like I said, I'm ready to race her in a Grade 1. I do want to see what she can do, because I don't even recall if we've put her in a Grade 1 yet. So she runs 9 to 12 on the turf. See if there's anything in Europe. We'll race her in Europe. She's got 80 power, so she can handle the European courses, which is actually pretty cool. Not a lot of horses in this game have great power, so that means they'll struggle at the different international races, especially on the European courses. So the fact that she has an 80 power rating is pretty solid. I mean, she can handle these as she needs to. And we'll put her in the Queen Mile. I think that'll be perfect. Let's see. It's 8 miles. Excuse me, it's 8 furlongs of the turf. She runs 9. Maybe I might be a little bit short for her. We could try the 10. Guess what's the next one? There's 12 at Marseille. Yeah, she'll have a handicap there. 20 furlong London Gold Cup. Like, who has a horse that's doing that right now? 20 furlongs. Are you insane? Are you mad? So we have her in the El Prince, the London Prince Cup. That's just what I'm going to call it, which it probably actually has a real name, so let me not be ignorant and actually look it up because we have it in the spreadsheet. So this race is the equivalent of the Prince of Wales Stakes. Oh, got it. Now, I am aware of that race and the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. I am familiar with those. I don't keep up with them like I'm sure other people probably closer to those tracks actually do, but I do know of them. So that's cool. So that's what we got going. King B. Look at his speed, 87. I mean, it's crazy. His speed has already went up one number. Literally before I hit record for this episode, his speed was at 86 in my notes. Like, I literally just put it in there. So that means after that race we just did with him, yeah, he's already up to an 87. And he's still developing. That's the amazing thing. I don't know when he's going to kind of hit his peak. I'm assuming now, between 3 and 4 years old. So he's going to be awesome to use as a stud, because that speed is crazy. Now, I will specifically want to get a really fast horse with him and a broodmare, because obviously his mother, Aunt B, was fast, so that's where the speed comes from. So any horses that we're breeding from now on, you know, as far as the broodmares, if we still have Aunt B, she's going to produce horses with speed, and then with King B, once we use him as a stud, he will also produce horses with a lot of speed. So that's what I'm looking for. I want to get those really flashy horses with a 90 speed rating. That is ultimately what we're working up to. And I'll try to put him... His power is 67, not great, but I do want to see how he can handle racing in Europe. You know what? I'm going to try 6 furlongs here in a G1. Now, I'm sure we still don't even know his actual distance. Like, it's still a question mark, but we know that the longest he can run is 11 furlongs. I highly doubt his range is 6 to 11. But because of his speed rating and his stamina isn't terrible, I do want to put him in that race and see how he performs in it. So I'm taking a shot there. We have both King B and Lee's Gold in grade 1s in Europe. Pink Gemstone as well. I forgot, she's running in the London Crown. And that race is the real life counterpart of... Where is the London Crown? Is the Coronation Stakes. I have heard of that one as well. So we got a lot of really good grade 1 races coming up. And I didn't realize we had 2 of our horses basically both in one of the London series. Yeah. We have 3 out of our next 4 grade 1s over in Europe, except for Onyx Prince, who will be racing in Canada in Toronto for the Summer GP. So pretty stacked June. We have to keep looking at the first timers because our foals, our 2-year-olds, are going to be ready to be acquired here soon. I'm not challenging any of you fools. I don't have the time. I have other things I need to focus on. Please, sorry, and thanks. Please, sorry, and thanks. Crafty Gift up here in the Spring Mile Cup. Favorite, as he should be. And we should win this. And we should win, but I'll have to make sure I'm careful as well. So yeah, Crafty Gift should be able to get this done. Reminds me of Fast Navy, the way he looks. He's a pretty fast horse. I haven't really heard of him until recently. So here we go. With Crafty Gift, I was able to acquire him. I've had him for a while, I should say. And he's past his peak, but he's still really great horse. I would say definitely he's went under my radar. Sorry, I was writing something down. Didn't get a chance to time that perfectly, but it's fine. But yeah, I would say out of a lot of our studs that we've had, again, him getting Horse of the Year still kind of goes over my head because it seems like it just doesn't seem like we've had anything amazing happen. But quite clearly, to get Horse of the Year, that means we won all of the important races on the roadmap. Most importantly, is what I was trying to say in that kabuffle of a sentence. And yeah, it's just like I said, just kind of taking me back because I just didn't recall any major crazy things we've had happen, and maybe that's because we've been able to win so easily on Crafty Gift. And obviously when I've raced with him in the last couple of episodes, I'm like, well, yeah, I get why we won Horse of the Year. He's super easy to run with, man. He's a super easy, super quick horse when it needs to be said. And we're not going to go on the whip yet. We're going to see how he does without it. Horses are coming. Now it's push. Let's push away. Push away. 14 is coming. Oh my goodness. 14 and the 12 are coming. I may have mucked that one up with Crafty, and I did. Gosh darn it. 4th place. That's not going to get it done. We are the favorite. You're the favorites. I mucked that one up, didn't I? Well, yeah, I really have no words. I have no words because I don't know what has happened to me in that regards when it comes to playing this game. I have no idea what's happened because I am effectively losing races I shouldn't be losing, and it's like I've won these races before, and now it's just like it's strange. It really is. Like if this was a superhero world Marvel DC analogy, I've like lost part of my powers. That's like the best way I could describe it. I've lost part of my powers when it comes to winning those type of races that I used to win quite a lot, and I'm not sure what has happened. I'm not sure really what has happened. I don't know if it's the way I'm playing or if it's just the horses. I don't know if I'm just not doing as well with certain horses that don't fit my playing style. You know? I'm really not sure. Because, I mean, there are horses that I haven't... Lee's Gold, I don't think I've messed up with her. I mean, we came second in that one race. We were supposed to win. But that was extremely close. I think that horse that we were running against... I can't remember who was up at the top. Lee's Gold, she's 6th here in this G1. She's expected to finish 6th. So not a favorite. Of course, most of the horses that run over here for these European races are much tougher than the ones that run in North America or even in the Asia circuit. So, relatively stress-free. I mean, we just have to do 6th or better. I think I should be able to do that with her. Let's see. But yeah, it's weird. It really is. I feel like I've just lost part of my superpowers with my spurt timing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when I've been going too early, we've been gassing out at the end. Desert Diver has the record here. Awesome. And then I also feel like when I'm going too soon, or no, when I'm going too late, then I'm not catching up to the horses in time, or they somehow are able to catch up to me. You know, it's really strange. And I know, of course, depending on the horse's ability and everything else, starting sooner and making sure that you're ahead of most of the field by the time you hit this, hit the straight and the final corner, I know that helps a lot. You know what I mean? But some races I've done that, my horses were just tired at the end. So that's kind of why I'm in a position where I'm a little bit uncertain of what to really change, because I feel like I've tried changing both things, and I don't feel like one is really doing better than the other. You know, one thing I've noticed is that, you know, my horses aren't completely gassing out at the end like they were maybe a couple episodes ago. I've at least gotten that together. But when it comes to holding off, you know, in the final half furlong of the stretch, that is where I notice we're losing a lot of races, which to me still seems like a stamina thing. And that's what I'm not really understanding. I feel like we're still losing a lot of races at that point, just the last half furlong. You know, just kind of at the wire. You know, we're just losing those races. So I'm not sure what needs to be adapted for that. I don't think I'm using the whip more than I normally would need to, you know. Now, I'm not familiar with this race. Well, I am familiar with this race because I set the record with Desert Diver, so I can't lie and say I'm not. But I kind of forgot where that stretch started. Now, we just got to finish 6th or better with Lee's Gold, so let's see if she can push through. She is a really tough filly, man. She's going to dig in. Furlong left to go. She's digging in. Lee's Gold is digging in. Look at this filly roll. Look at her roll, man. Stretch burst. Holy crap. She could possibly get up here at the wire. No. Wow, what an effort from Lee's Gold. So you see, this is what I mean. Is it really a matter of is it me losing my powers, or is it a matter of me just having the right horses that I feel comfortable with? Lee's Gold is a horse that I've felt extremely comfortable with since we've acquired her. You know, even if sometimes we may fall short of hitting our goals, I don't feel uncomfortable with her ever. And you see what a great spurt that was. What a great stretch run that was to go from where we were to second and almost winning the race. That's a big, big P2 in that race for Lee's Gold. And that still leads me to believe she can win a grade 1 in the right conditions. Love this filly, man. I cannot wait to use her as a broodmare, I'm telling you. I feel like she's kind of been our quiet, our quiet gem, diamond in the rough, or something that we just kind of, you know, keep behind closed doors. But Lee's Gold, I mean, she really has been doing pretty consistent for us. No G1 wins as of yet. I still would like to get her one, and that to me shows she's close. 12 lifetime starts, but she's finished in the top 3 9 out of 12 times. That's pretty incredible. And she's won 3 out of 12, so she already has a 25% win percentage here. You know what I mean? That's pretty solid, honestly, when you think about it. And she's gonna obviously peak by the end of this year. So, like I said, it would be great to add a G1 win to her stats. I know that'll definitely help with the breeding. So we'll give her some time off because she has really been working for us. And I would like her in another G1. So let's look for something that we can get for her. Because I feel like we're so close to winning. We really could have won that race. I mean, that was really close. So yeah, I definitely feel confident that we can get her in that position again. Chicago Stakes, I like this. Now, condition is 3-year-old fillies and up. So it should just be the gals. I think this gives her a really good chance. Sometimes I notice that does work for certain fillies if they are running against other fillies. If you're trying to win, sometimes you might just need to have them race strictly against the girls. And if it works, it works. I mean, you know, we're trying to win. And we're trying to help these horses develop as well. So whatever is going to help them and help us at the same time, that's what we're going to do. So she'll be racing in the Chicago Cup or whatever in a little bit. Still got some more G1s coming up. And yeah. Alright, so we got quite a bit going on. Crafty Gift, we're going to have to redeem ourselves. We decided to drop down to a G3. Bounce back. He's past his peak anyways. I can retire him any second. So I don't have to continue running him in grade 1s. But ultimately, if I wanted to do that to help pad his stats for breeding, I could. But I have to run him in the right grade 1s. And I have to really be confident that I can win it. You know, I love Crafty Gift. He's still easy to work with. But obviously that race that we had with him where we finished 4th instead of 1st, where we were supposed to, that has me a little bit concerned. I don't know if the game still reads his stats as like, oh, he's the best horse in the field, but technically speaking, with him on the decline now, I'm not sure. So anyways, Pink Gemstone, we have her up in this London Crown Stakes. which again, the real life counterpart to this race is the Coronation Stakes. 8 furlongs on the turf. We're expected to finish 7th. It's a full field of 14. And it's just the gals. Just the gals. So Pink Gemstone, this is a big test for her. I think she's, like I said, she's proven she's very capable of running in these fields and competing and not finishing in last. Like, she's proven that she can do all of that. I still would like to get a win with her. And as you can see, her speed is still increasing. Let me see. I had her speed in my notes. Her speed has went up 2 points since we've started this episode. Before I hit record, I put in my spreadsheet her speed was at 76. So not even in reality, 60 minutes later, and then however long we're into this episode, her speed's already gone up 2 more points. She's obviously still developing, so she's going to be another fast horse. And again, she comes from Arctic Crop and Night Breeze, and Arctic Crop, her father was definitely the faster of the 2 parents, so that's where she's clearly getting her speed figure from. So yeah, Pink Gemstone, she's turning out to be pretty decent. And like I said, we've been consistent with her. She's a great ride, so let's see what we can do here. 7th or better. I think we're going to be able to accomplish that. So like I said, we're building for the future. I'm telling you, just wait. If any of these episodes have seemed like we've kind of been on a little bit of a back foot, it's all a part of the plan, man. It's just patience. It's patience and timing. I am a huge advocate of patience, timing, and waiting for the right moment. I really am. I know sometimes you just have to do things and timing can't be on your side, but for what we're doing here, timing is going to be on our side. It's going to be worth it, I'm telling you. And it's going to be really enjoyable to see all the different horses we're creating that are going to become, you know, these great champions that they're going to become. We've only had a few so far, obviously, like Great Bolero. I can't recall if we've had any other original Get Horse of the Year. I swear he's the only one, as far as like an original horse I've bred that we've created. I think Great Bolero is still the only one that's actually gotten a Horse of the Year, which is incredible when you think about it. Because, like, he didn't look like he was going to be such a great horse statistically from, you know, just when he was first born. Of course, I was so excited. I loved his look, and he was one of our first decent foals, I knew. But nobody expected him to be as good as he was. So that's why it's kind of like, you know, you really never know when you're breeding and you're figuring it out, and you know, you're looking at your foals and you're watching them grow up and develop. You really don't know which one of those foals, regardless of what the game says they're going to be, they could turn out to be worse or better. We've had foals that were supposed to be great and turned out to be, well, not so great. We've had foals that looked like they were going to be average and they weren't. You know what I mean? Pink Gemstone, she is fighting here. What a G1 win this would be for her. She's fighting, half a furlong left to go. The 11 is coming as well. Oh, man. I think the field just rushed us. Don't rob me. No. What happened? We were right there. I wonder if I whipped her one too many times. I may have whipped one too many times because her speed just dropped. We were right there, then all of a sudden it just... And then like 6 horses get us on the wire. That is just unfortunate luck. Unfortunate luck. That does it for today's episode. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.